President says that this report totally exonerates him and says there's no collusion with the Russians. Now, Inspector General Horowitz, did your report even consider the question of collusion?
Our report was focused on the FBI and department's handling of the Clinton email investigation. It touched on the Russia investigation as we lay out here when we found the text messages in that July-August time period, and then the decision that was made in October about whether to proceed or not proceed with the Wiener laptop. That was the sum total of our.
But there's nothing in the report that says it exonerates the president from any question of collusion with the Russians. It says nothing one way or the other. Is that correct?
We did not look into collusion questions.
So I just note the president says it totally exonerates him, even though there's no conclusion one way or the other about the question of collusion with the Russians. Now, Director Wray, after learning that the FBI utilized a confidential source during the early stage of the Russia investigation, the president described that as a scandal bigger than Watergate. I'm one of the few people here, the only person in the Senate that remembers directly knowledge of Watergate. I tend to disagree with him. And I'd say the confidential sources are a routine investigative tool. I've got I have a document that is publicly available in the FBI's online FOIA library. It's a redacted interview summary from the Clinton investigation. It shows that the FBI used a confidential human source in September 2015, well into Secretary Clinton's campaign for president. So, Director, does the possible use of confidential sources in either the Clinton or Russia investigation by itself show any wrongdoing by the FBI?
Senator, as you alluded to, we use confidential informants in all manner of investigations covering kind of the waterfront, and it's a very, very, very important tool in that mission.
Any of us who've been prosecutors know you probably don't have a significant prosecution without some confidential sources. Now, Director Wray, the president said on Friday the Mueller investigation has been totally discredited by the Inspector General report. I asked you last month when you were before the Appropriations Committee about the Russia investigation. You confirmed at that time you do not believe it is a witch hunt. Now, the special counsel investigation has already resulted in the indictment of 20 individuals, 3 Russia companies. Do you have any reason to believe that this investigation has been discredited?
Senator, as I said to you last month, and as I said before, I do not believe Special Counsel Mueller is on a witch hunt.
Thank you, and I appreciate that. And you were very direct in both occasions. Now, the mistakes made by Director Comey during the Hillary Clinton investigation didn't exist in a vacuum. Republicans in Congress relentlessly pressured the FBI to release details concerning the Clinton investigation. I'm deeply concerned that we're repeating these mistakes today. The White House, working with allies in Congress, have been aggressively demanding information from the Russia investigation. And Director Wray and the Deputy Attorney General pushed back. They've been threatened with impeachment. That's outrageous. Obviously, something will never happen. But some accommodations have been made. And members of Congress, eager to politicize any details, have reviewed a FISA application and learned the identity of a confidential source. Are you confident that kind of precedent will not damage the FBI in the future?
Senator, I think we have two competing interests that we have to balance. We have an obligation to be responsive to congressional oversight. That's important. I think that's part of our job. But we also have an obligation to protect sources and methods, to protect ongoing criminal investigations, to respect things like grand jury secrecy. And it's a challenge at times to do both, but I'm confident that we can do both. as long as both sides are willing to work together on it, and I'm committed to trying to do both.